Good afternoon, guys. My name is Titlengema from QuickTrade. Welcome to our technical analysis session. Please send me an email if you can hear my voice so that we can start. Oh, everyone is in the lobby. What's going on here? Let me move them to the room. Um, Left to home coast. Hi, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our technical analysis webinar. My name is Titlengema from QuickTrade. Please send me an email to indicate that you can hear me. Thank you. Move to the room. Okay, someone has sent me something. Carol, thank you so much. Yes, you can hear me. Ernest, yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, guys, thank you so much. So, before we start, guys, have you been doing any research on your own? Any technical analysis? Any practice? Are there any issues that you're facing? Are there any questions that you have for me after doing those analysis or doing those practices that you guys are supposed to be doing? Tapiwa, you're using two devices, my man. Okay, it's not an issue. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Okay, guys. Who's new in our session today? Who's new? Okay. Yes, I've been doing both analysis and trading, and it's Mashaba. Okay, but what is the issue, Mashaba? I know that you said that you'd like to come through and have a one-on-one with me. That's not an issue. You're welcome to do that. But I mean, what's the problem, guys? Are you guys making money? What's the problem? I mean, are your trades good or not good? What's the issue? Okay, Karel, I started my first trades on the demo account yesterday, still learning. Oh, okay, no, that's perfect. But how was the experience? Karel, did you manage to make any money out of those demo trades? So you just lost? I'm interested in that. Okay, I see. Ernest, I must increase my volume of trade by paying more into my trading account. Okay, you want to increase your trading funds, so you must put in more money, Ernest. Okay, no, that's fine, Ernest. That's not an issue. As long as you are making money with the small account that you have, because I mean that's very important. If you aren't making money on a small account, it doesn't mean that if you put in more money into your account and you have a larger account that you're going to make money. You may still lose some money. So it's important that you first make money on that trading account. You get the process right before you really start. That's very important. Okay, lost a few rand but entered the trade late. Oh, okay. That's discipline there, Karen. That's discipline. You're supposed to go in at the right time. I see Tapio is busy writing, sorry, typing me some message there also. Okay, I'll wait for him to finish. Okay, Tapiwa, Hasita, just out of interest, would you, by any chance, have more information on what is happening on Lewis and CML? I don't know what you're referring to there specifically, Tapiwa. Are you trading these shares or not? If you are trading them, what's the issue? Are you holding on to some losses? What's happening? Are you not making money out of them? Because I mean, we can have a look at them and check what's going on. The main thing is for you to understand the main trend, the current trend, and what the stock is really telling you when you're reading the chart. So that's very important. We'll have a look at those and see what we can actually get out of them. Oh, okay. You're saying that they've taken a big slide down. Okay. Lewis. Lewis is a furniture retailer, so they do most of their business on credit. So if you've been following the news, the rise in the petrol price that we had overnight had has some negative impact on stock like Lewis, because I mean people are going to fork out more money at the filling stations now, and that will actually cause people to spend less on other items. So I mean, in short, that's going to push up inflation. If inflation goes up, that could lead to the Reserve Bank deciding to hike interest rates in South Africa, maybe by 25 basis points or by maybe zero point 0.5, or which is half of a percent. So we don't know when exactly that will come through. But I mean, if you're looking at the rand is, I mean, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. We said if the rand weakens the way that it's weakening and it continues to weaken, there's a good chance that we're going to have more inflation. Most of that inflation is going to come, excuse me, is going to come through um, imports. I mean, it's going to be an imported type of inflation because I mean we are importing crude, Brent crude. So if the price of Brent crude is rising, the price of rand or the rand against the US dollar is weakening, that's going to cause an increase in the price of petrol, and that is already happening. And I see more hikes happening in the price of petrol as long as the rand continues to weaken like this, and the Brent crude stabilizes at the levels where it's currently trading. There's a good chance that we're going to see that happening. So that's going to cause inflation. So a stock like Lewis, they don't like a high inflation environment because it means that the interest rates are going to go up and people are going to default and all of that. So that's the main reason. Basically, if you're looking at a stock like Lewis, most retailers don't like a weakening rand because it means more inflation to them. And if there's more inflation, it means that people are going to buy less. They're going to stick to the basics instead of buying everything because they have more disposable income. If you look at CML as sorry, CML is a financial stock. CML is a financial stock. Financial stocks have a problem with a weaker rand also. So if the rand weakens, they don't like that. They sort of like weaken. But I mean, it had been going down for quite some time. I cannot tell exactly because I mean I haven't been following CML very closely to see if I mean, they've been experiencing maybe some funds outflows because I mean, sometimes if a fund manager or an asset management business is not performing well, people tend to withdraw their funds and invest with fund managers that are doing well currently. But I mean, I know CML is a very good business. If you stick with them, I think in the long run you are likely to make some reasonable returns on your money. So basically, and financial stocks or banks, they're going to have a tough time with the rand weakening like it's doing right now. That's one part that I'm looking at. Well, I mean, if you look at technicals also, the picture is not very good. So that's the only explanation that I can give at the moment. I don't know. Are you guys happy with that? Is there anything else that you think is missing there? Please let me know, Tapiwa and the rest of everyone who is listening to this conversation. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, let's have a look at let's have a look at CML. Let's just check what's going on there. Let's check CML. We are going to be using our strategy that we use every day. CML today is down 2.72%. Okay, we don't need to use. Sure. System is just disconnected, guys. Sorry about that. Let me try and reconnect. Well, let's look at the weekly chart. We can also have a look at the short-term trading strategy if you guys are interested. But I don't want to confuse you too much with short-term stuff. Okay. In May, we had a negative close to the month. We're down 15.5%, and month to date, we are down 3.3. Okay, let me just try and get those support levels there on. We are marking this turning point here. This is where I think our support is on on CML. I think our support is around 50, 52, 52, 53 area. That's where our support is on this one. Okay, let's check here. Yeah, we close below that support of 63. So every time, I think going forward, every time CML tries to go above 63, going towards maybe 64, 65, that's where our sell orders, I think, are located, looking at the technical picture of CML, around 64, 65. I think that's where we're going to have a lot of selling pressure. The next level that I'm looking at, which is our support on CML, I'm looking at 53, 52 area. We may even touch 52. We may even touch, sorry, we may even touch 50, but I'm looking at 52, 53. That's where maybe people are going to go in and start buying some CMLs. We are below the simple moving average here. Okay, so we can look at this. Okay, we are below our simple moving average here on the monthly time frame. So that means that there's going to be a lot of selling going forward. Let's check our daily looks. daily time frame, we've been trading below our simple moving average for a very long time. Since April we've been below, so you can see every time the price gets here, it leaves these big tails around 64, 64.80, 65, and it closes below 63.21 all the time, and they it's pushed down a bit. So I think don't know, this is a tough call, but I mean, if you are interested maybe in shorting, I wouldn't mind really shorting. I wouldn't mind really shorting CML, shorting it at maybe 62, 63. If it does actually go back there, shorting it, or even at current levels, uh, looking at maybe closing my trade around 52. Looking at closing my trade maybe around 52. We may even get to 48 looking at the daily time frame. Daily time frame, we may still get to 48. In fact, I think 48 and 50. 48 and 50 on CML, I think it's a buy. It's a buy zone. I think every time it, I mean, when it finally gets there, I think we're going to have a lot of orders waiting to buy CML. I think around this point here between 53 and 47. I think there's going to be a lot of buying happening here. So we can expect to see maybe a bounce from 50, 48, 53. That's where we can actually expect to see a bounce. Maybe that's what people should actually be on a lookout for. If you don't have a problem going in and taking a shot, I wouldn't really mind taking a shot on Billiton, aiming for maybe 53, even to 50 area on CML. Okay, that's it that we can look at on. Okay. That's all that we can look at on CML. Let me just check the hourly time frame. I just want to see how it looks like. Hourly time frame also, if you check it, you see this horizontal line around 63.21. Every time the price gets there, sellers come in, push the price lower. We closed below the hourly moving average yesterday at 3, and the price started declining. After that, we are still trading below. So yeah, it is a good shot in my view. Let's look at another one. We're going to have a look at Lewis. Lewis, let's check how Lewis did in May. Okay, we closed below our moving average also in May. We're down 29%, 28.96 in May, and month to date we are down 3%, 2.98%. So Lewis is not looking good also. So Lewis is a sell in my view. It's a short. Let's try and get those support and resistance levels to see where we can actually come in if we are interested in buying this one. Okay. So on Lewis, yeah, it looks like it may still come down, but I have a problem with this area. Sorry about that, guys. That I'm looking at that area of well, you can call it what 30, 31, 32. There is a little bit of support around this area between 32 and 30 here. There's a little bit of support, but the main thing is that we are below the moving average. We haven't crossed above the moving average on the daily. If we get a close maybe above the moving average, our moving average currently is around 34 or 33.84. It's possible that buyers could come in and push the price back up to maybe 38. It's possible they could come in and push the price back up to 38. Otherwise, if we get a below 30.68 or 30, well, let's call it 30.50. If we get a close below 30.50, the close could actually push us down towards 25, 24 levels before we see maybe the price of Lewis bouncing. Lewis is another stock that I'm looking at as a good candidate. When it comes to shorting, you can actually, short Lewis. It looks like a good short, really. Because even if you check your hourly moving average or your hourly time frame, is trading below the moving average. It's been below the moving average the whole time. So there's a good chance that sellers could actually come in with a lot of pressure and push it lower down. Oh, okay. If it's not shortable, then yeah, there isn't much that we can do there, Tapua. We can short the other stocks. Well, in the sectors that I've mentioned, I mentioned retailers. If you're looking to short anything, maybe you can check out your retailers, check out your financials, banks. But when I was looking at banks yesterday, I saw that two banks stand out in my view. Those banks they're actually outperforming the sector in my view at the moment. If I exclude Capitec, I looked at Netbank. Netbank looks stable where it's trading. I understand that it has been declining and it could still decline a couple of more percentage points going down, but it looks strong in my view. I think it's going to improve going forward. Standard Bank is also looking good. Uh, First Rand and BGA, I don't like them. They don't look very nice to me. They look like they're going to suffer a bit going forward. But we'll wait and see what happens going forward. But they are not looking good in my view. Okay, they're not looking good in my view. Okay. Okay, guys. What else do you think we should look at? Ernest, I know that you have some questions. Kumbulani, I know you have some questions. There's nothing that you're going to change from the strategy unless if you want to trade short term. But trading short term is going to give you some issues, guys. We have Kumbulani, Ernest, and Tapiwa. Guys, is there anything specific or some stocks that you want us to have a look at? Let's talk about those if you have any. Naspers has been rising, and I think that it's up strongly today. I think it's up quite nice today. Let me have a look. Well, it's trading above its moving average from the 1st of June, and yeah, it has been rising. It has been rising. Another one. Okay, let's look at this time frame, the monthly time frame. Last month we closed below our moving average once again, but right now it looks like we're going to be taking out at the moving average. If that happens, I think we're going back up to 4,000 on Naspers. I think we're going back up to 4,000. Our area of resistance, in my view, is 3,694. If we close above the moving average, excuse me, that's the next area that I'm looking at, 3,694. If we take out 3,694, I think we will go to 4,100 and more. I think there's a good chance that NASPAS is still going to do very well this year. And if NASPAS does well, there's a good chance that the JSE, not the JSE as the stock, but the JSE maybe top 40 that is going to do well, or the JSE All Share Index that is going to do well, is going to rise again this year, 2018. Okay, let us look at AUD and ZD, the currency pair. We sent this out this morning. We actually, maybe we were meant to buy this a little bit lower, around maybe 1.08 400, 1.08 500, but I mean we went in we went in on it today as a long. We think that is still gonna move higher. If you are looking at the monthly time frame, the monthly time frame does not does not look very good. But I mean, if you check here, we've had 2 months of positive performance. In April, we're up 0.64%, and in May, we're up 1.36%, and month to date, we are positive. We are up 0.29%. So what we need to do here is to close above 1.09. If we get a monthly close above 1.09, I think the next area of resistance that we'll have, 1.09700 or 1.1, and the next one should be 1.114. That's where I think it's heading to next. But I mean, it's in my view, I think that we're going to push higher on the Australian dollar against the New Zealand dollar. Let's look at the rand. Sorry, not at the rand. Sorry about that, guys. Let's look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame, we've been rising. We went up. We went above the moving average. We went sort of like sideways here in May, towards the end of April to the first week of May, and we closed above the moving average. We went up, and now we pulled back a bit. We're moving sideways. So from here, we just need to get a close above our moving average. From there, take out that area that I mentioned of 1.09. From there, the price should actually climb higher on Australian dollar, US dollar. So this, in my view, is a very good trade. I like it. I think it's going to do very well. There's another trade that I want to show you. It's a currency pair. It's GBP JPY. GBP JPY is another currency pair that I would like us to check out. It has been rising for the past few days. It actually been rising from the 30th of May. Those that went long on this one are still making money, but I mean, I have a problem with this declining trend line that we have here. This thick blue line here moving down, touching those lower tops, and it's been making lower lows each time. I mean, this area is this low is actually higher than this low here. This low is lower than this one here. So now we are. I suspect that this is going to be our high here, just below 140. 148,000, around there, around 148,000. I think maybe that's going to be our high. From there, we could see sellers coming in and pushing the price off Pushing the price of GBP JPY lower. I'm looking at 144. If we 144, if the price does actually come down, that's what I'm looking at. But I mean, let's look at the bigger time frame. This is short term. Well, I mean, if you're looking at the bigger time frame, the monthly time frame, we are below the moving average, which worries me. We are below the moving average. Let me remove these lines. Let me remove these lines. They are disturbing me here. We are below the moving average, and we've been trading sideways for quite some time. And another thing that we can do using the monthly bars, we can draw maybe a line here. We can draw a line here. You see that line that I've just drawn here, the thick blue line there. That line is our resistance, our main resistance. If this does actually pick up, that is our main resistance. So we are below the moving average. We haven't finished any month above 149.600, and we haven't finished any month below 146.2. So this area is very important. I think there's going to be I mean, a little bit of a tussle between these two horizontal lines that I've just drawn here. I'm looking at 149.600 and 146.22. So you must keep an eye on those. There's a chance that maybe the price could actually go up to 149.603, maybe before pushing lower. But I mean, according to that falling trend line that I showed you guys on the daily time frame, I think chances of that happening are very, 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 very slim. And if we fail to go up and break above that resistance that I showed you on the daily. Let me go back to the daily. I want to show you what I do there. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, but this is intraday. This bar hasn't finished forming yet. It hasn't closed yet. So it's possible that maybe towards the end of the session, we're going to get sellers coming and pushing the price lower. Otherwise, if that doesn't happen, the next area that we should look at is that 149.6 or 149.603, and our support in terms of the monthly time frame. We're looking at 146. But I mean, if the price does reverse from these levels, there's a good chance that we're going to close below 146.2. From there, we're going to come down and test these 144 lower down here. I think that's where the price is likely to go next. Guys, are you happy with this? Is there anything that you'd like to ask? Is there anything that you're not happy about? Please speak out so that we can have a look at that. Oh, okay, Ernest, you're saying that you haven't started trading Forex, so this is a learning curve for me. Okay, I understand what you're saying there, Ernest, but I mean the principle is the same. We're still looking at support and resistance. We're looking at the trend lines. We're looking at our simple moving average there. That's all you need to check really, and make sure that when you go into a trade, you go in at the right levels. That's what we are really looking at there. Okay, guys. Is there anything else that you'd like to ask, or that you want me to cover here? Because I mean, all of you, you're not new. We've done this before. We've done some analysis. If there's anything specific that you'd like to ask, please do ask so that we can look into that. Okay, don't know what sort of news you're looking for there specifically, Ernest, but you can always look at your sends announcements. You can look at them. Well, I mean, we have a few local websites that you can use to check the sends. Sends announcements are distributed by the JSE. Otherwise, you can go to investing.com. Investing.com, you can get some news there. Another website maybe that you can use is Trading Economics. Trading Economics, you can go in there and check the news there also. You can use that one. Well, I mean, and a couple of other local publications, but I mean, you need to pay for those. A couple of other. Okay, you're talking about market trend news. Locally, we don't have a lot of news on stocks. The people that are willing to give out any information on stocks locally, they want to be paid. It's subscription services. Well, I don't know how good that is, but I mean, it's there and it's working. It's being used. So I don't know. That's not really very important. And that's the most important thing is for you to do your own analysis and decide whether you're buying or selling the market. That's the main thing for me. Okay, let's look at gold. Yesterday, I mean the class that I did, I wasn't doing it online. I was doing a physical class. We had a look at gold and we pointed out a couple of things that we think that are likely to happen on the price of gold. This is the level that we looked at. We said on gold, we think that if gold goes up towards maybe 1,305, we're going to get sellers coming in and pushing the price lower. We're looking at 1285, 1284 as our next support area. This is the area that we are looking at. If we close below this area here, there's a good chance that we're going to come down to 1,240 on the price of gold. So that should tell you how well the US dollar should do going forward. So if you position yourself correctly in this market, there's a good chance that you're going to make a lot of money. Gold, this is how it looks. Let's check maybe the the monthly time frame to see how it looks. Okay. The monthly time frame for the month of May, we were down 1.68% on gold, and we closed below the moving average. Our moving average is currently sitting at 1.304, and the price hasn't actually breached 1.304 so far. Month to date, I think the high is no, it's not 1. Is it 1.3? It looks like it's 1.3. but I think that the price is still gonna move lower, maybe towards that 285, 284 area. From there, we could see maybe to 1240, 1240 on the price of gold. Another stock that we looked at BVT. PVT is under a lot of pressure currently. Bidvest under a lot of pressure. We close below most of these stocks, guys. This is what I always say. Maybe I mean in the first week of the month, look at your monthly time frames. Check how the bars closed the previous month. Like in this case, we're looking at May. In May here, we closed below the moving average, and the price tried to challenge that moving average around 211, 210. Sellers came in, pushed the price lower. So my bias going forward on Bidvest is that the price should actually come down. I'm looking at 185, 181 on Bidvest. I think the price should actually decline. I had a look at this one with a colleague of mine also this morning, and we both agreed that the price of Bidvest is likely to come lower to these support levels. We're looking at 181, 185 area as a buy zone. So if you position yourself correctly, you should be able to benefit from this short on Bidvest. Look at it; it's trading below the moving average. It's trading below the moving average the whole time, and here this was yesterday. It went down 4%. Today, it's trying to go up a bit. I think maybe because some people are taking profits, those that went in and made some money on this decline of 4%. So today, maybe they're trying to take some profits. So the area I'm looking at that 181, 185. I think that's where we are going. So if you're a brave guy and you maybe you've done your homework, maybe this is a trade where you can go in and take a shot. This is a trade where you can go in and take a shot. Make sure that you keep your stop above 211. Let me check. What's that price exactly? That price is 211.60. Maybe you can put your maybe you can put your stop loss at 211.65 or 211.70 on this one, and make your take profit maybe 185 or 182, 185, 182. I think there's a good chance that people that take a shot on this one are going to make money. Okay, check. Okay, another. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke about the US 500 or the S&P 500. We said the S&P 500 was looking strong. It wasn't looking like it was going to come down. Last month we closed above our this is the US market. We use it to check the health of the market to see whether the market is likely to come down or not. In this case, in this case, when we had a look at this one, well, I mean, we couldn't find any reason why we should doubt the strength in this market. I think that this market is still gonna rise for a bit, even though we are coming down on some local stocks, but I think we are going to improve at some point. Let me remove all these lines here. You see, we closed above our moving average in June, in May, and we're up 3.2%. And month to date, we are up 0.71%. I think the next area that we should target on the S&P or the US 500, I think the next area of resistance is around 2,831. 2,831. If we manage to get there, 2,831, I think The next area that maybe we could try and test is 2,877 or 2,880. So if the US 500 is looking like this, I think there's a good chance that we're still going to see our market going up. But the sectors that are not doing well on the back of the rand weakening, you must leave them out, because I mean those are likely to continue going down. They are likely to continue going down, but some of the stocks are definitely going to be going up, more especially the rand hedge stocks like your CFRs, your Billitons, and SEPIs, and all the other names. Those stocks are likely to benefit. So this was the US 500, which is looking positive. The daily time frame. The daily time frame, we are trading above the moving average. There's a lot of volatility sometimes on the US 500. The tails are giving us that confirmation that there is a lot of volatility here. But I mean, it has been rising. So the next level that we are looking at that 2,785, 2,790. For those of you that like maybe trading indices, you can maybe give this one a try and see what happens. If we break above 2,790, 2,780, there's a good chance we're going up to 2,870, 2,880, like I said. Okay, guys. Is there anything else, Ernest, Tapua, anything else that you think maybe I'm not covering here, that I'm not assisting you with? Please talk about that. Oh, this baby's in the lobby. Hi, Lawrence. I've just moved you to the room. You've been in the lobby the whole time. Do you have any questions, Lawrence? Is there anything that is confusing you, maybe in the strategy that you use? Is there anything that you've tried to do in this market that hasn't actually made you any money? Please talk about that if you have anything. Okay, we've covered everything for you, Ernest. You'd like to come? When would you like to come through? Ernest, you did not give me the date. You must give me the date well in advance so that we don't have more than maybe two or one person coming through to see me. You must give me the date so that I can plan. Oh, Lawrence, you're saying not now. Thanks. Okay. That's perfect. Tomorrow, Friday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Okay. If you come in tomorrow or Friday, you must come in after 9:30. We have our morning meetings from 8:30 to about 9:30 every day. So after 9:30, yeah, I'll be free. You're free to come through. It's not an issue. Okay. This market, guys, there's nothing exciting really happening. Let's look at this one. Let's look at MTN. Let's look at MTN and see what's going on in MTN. Okay, MTN. Let's look at the monthly first on MTN. The monthly time frame. Monthly time frame. We closed below our moving average in March. April, we went up, but we couldn't take out the moving average. We're still below the moving average. We're up 5.5%. And in May, we dropped 8.3%. In May, 8.3%. We are still below the moving average. We said we have our resistance around 118.76 or 119. That's where we have our resistance. We have our resistance around 119, 118. The price actually went up there on the 4th. and sellers came in on the 5th yesterday. The stock dropped 1.9%, and we haven't really closed below the moving average yet. But if we can get it close below the moving average, I think MTN will go back to 108 levels. I mean, that's what I see on MTN. I think we can maybe go down to 110, 109 levels. I'm not really happy with the way that MTN is currently trading, because I mean, if you haven't taken out that 119, it's going to be a very, 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 very big challenge for us to take out that area and start moving higher. So I'm not really happy about MTN. I think we may still see MTN coming back to 110 once again. So brace yourselves. There's a good chance that MTN could still come back down to 110 before maybe moving higher. Another one that we okay, let me see. Okay, I'll give you another stock I'm looking at currently. Another stock I'm looking at currently is Billiton. I think Billiton is very close to its resistance. That resistance is around this line here. That line is 308, 34, or 309. I think around 309, we could see maybe sellers coming in, pushing the price of Billiton maybe back down to 294, 300 levels. I'm watching that. That area for a good buying opportunity around 294. If we take out, if we buy 294 and it breaks out 310, we're going up to maybe 324. From 324, we're looking at 380, 370 levels. There's a good chance that we're going to see Billiton doing very well for the next half of 2018. It looks like it's going to benefit from the rand weakness. So if you are really interested in making money from this market, maybe you should keep an eye on Billiton. If Billiton maybe pulls back down to 300, 294, take advantage of that. Go in and take some longs. Or if you are a long-term guy, you can even buy it at current levels. Buy at current levels and wait for it maybe to break above 310, 309, go up maybe to 324, and finally go up maybe to 360, 370, around those levels. I think that's where the price of Billiton is likely to go next. Let's have a look at this one. We spoke about it yesterday. Let's have a look at it. It's BGA. I revised it yesterday. I revised it. I had a look. I had a look at it. One thing that worries me about Billiton, sorry about Barclays or BGA, is that it closed below its moving average last month. It went up to uh, one 170.83, so that's 170, 171. It went up there and there was resistance. The sellers came in and pushed the price down, which is why we got stopped out in the trade that we had yesterday. And we have some serious support around 160. 160 is good support for us. If we manage to stay above 160, there's a good chance that we could still have another bounce up towards that 171, 170 zone. But I mean, when it gets there, I expect to get more selling on BGA. I expect sellers to come in numbers and push the price down back to 160. Any break below 160 should take us down to 155 in my view. I think I mean Barclays is still going to decline. I'm looking at 155. From 155, I'm looking at 140. I think that's the next target that we should actually be on the lookout for on Barclays. 140, I think that's where Barclays is likely to go to next. Because I mean, if the rand continues to weaken like it's doing, remember a few sessions ago we mentioned 1340 on the rand. I know that maybe that's a that's a bit of a maybe a tall ask, but I mean, I expect the rand maybe to get to 1340, 1350 at some point, maybe over the next few months. So I'm not saying before the end of the year. I think over the next few months, I think it's possible that we're going to see the rand trading around 1340, 1350. But I mean, we'll check what the US does in their in their MPC meeting when their central bank committee meets. When they meet, we'll see what they say in that meeting. If they are hawkish, there's a good chance that you're going to see the rand losing more against the US dollar over the next couple of weeks. But I mean, it's still early days. Let's just keep it. Um, I mean, let's just I mean, keep watching it and check what really transpires next. But I think there is more rand weakness coming. Okay, guys, if you don't have any more questions, I think I've covered enough for the session. We can actually meet again tomorrow, same time between 12 and 1. Please go apply the same strategy that we've always applied and see if it does not make you any money. Go and check your monthly time frames, check which stocks are closed above or below their moving averages, and use those stocks to trade, whether to buy or to sell. It's up to you. But I mean, there are opportunities. I know if you can go to the banking stocks or the financials, there is a lot of selling opportunities there. I think even if you go to some retailers, except for ShopRite, I think ShopRite is very strong. ShopRite closed above its moving average, and we had said that 225, 230 was expected, that range, and it came down towards that 235. The low actually was 223.50. From there, it started pushing higher. It went up to 240, and sellers started coming in. So I don't know what's going to happen next. There's a good chance that we may see the price maybe coming back down to that maybe this time. Maybe we can look for 225, 220, 225, 220 before maybe we start playing around. I do not really expect any massive decline on ShopRite. I think ShopRite should be able to do well going forward, regardless of the rand weakness. Let's look at a stock like maybe Truworths, see if we cannot find anything interesting there. Monthly time frame, we closed below the moving average end of May, and month to date we are down almost 3%. We are down 2.91%. The next area of support, I think on this one, we're looking at 75. It's possible that the price is going to come down to 275. From 275, we're looking at 70 bucks. 70 bucks, maybe 67, 68. Let's just call it 68. 70 bucks. If you can take a shot on this one, I think you will do very well. If you can take a shot maybe on Truworths, I think that's one of the shares that you should look at if you are thinking of taking a shot. Look at TFG maybe. You see, we had a triple top. We had a triple top there end of March. And April, the price started declining. So I think we're coming back down to Okay, let me check this. Then we come back down to these levels here. I'm looking at that range of 68 and 72. I think that's where Truex is going. 68, 72. Keep an eye on this one. If you take a shot on it, you're likely to make some reasonable returns over the next couple of weeks on Truex. Let's look at MRP. MRP had some nice support, I think around 250. Was it 250 or 258? We'll see now. Yeah, 250. We had some nice support around 250, and we are still trading around 250. We are above our moving average. We haven't actually broken below that area there, so MRP is quite resilient. Okay, TFG. This is another one. It's quite resilient and it's supported around 180. I'm in TFG, Foschini Group. Foschini Group is supported around 180. Every time it gets to 180, there's a little bit of support there. So I don't really know what's going to happen on this one. But I mean, it's not a short in my view at the moment. I would need to see it close maybe below 180 before I consider maybe going short, maybe looking maybe at shorting it down to 160, maybe shorting it down to 160. So yeah, guys, have a look at these shares and see which ones you can go in and short. Another benefit of shorting is pay interest on your CFD trades. You get paid interest. Instead, you get paid interest, so you must maybe try and take advantage of that. The only thing is that when the company issues a dividend, you need to pay the same amount to the platform provider, So it's very important to know that. But I mean, you get paid interest, you don't pay anything. So swaps won't kill you. So try and look for those short positions, and you should be able to make some money going forward. Guys, thank you very much. And let's meet again tomorrow. But I mean, if you still have some questions, you're welcome to ask. You're welcome, guys. Thank you for taking time out to attend our session. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, bye bye.